Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? I just wanted to just double check on a few things. I'm doing all right. Vamp, how are you doing? I'm doing all right. Being productive and everything. Everything is great. Uh, I'm having a very good time with Death Stranding. Uh, so there's that. And finishing versus series, and then just trying to do some brainstorming. But yeah, other than that, I'm doing just fine. Jeez. Jeez, what the hell? It is laggy as hell. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It is laggy as hell. Hang on, hang on. Damn, this thing is laggy as hell. Jeez. Shit is laggy as hell. Okay. Okay. So, I don't know what is going on here. Okay, it's a little better. Just don't have to. Just won't pay attention to it as much. Okay. I don't know what's going on my end, but it's like I got like three different screens I'm looking at. I'm looking at like OBS here, and then YouTube on this screen is really laggy and like frozen, and then this one's fine. So it's weird. So I gotta move this one. It's fine on your end. Okay, as long as it's fine on your end, that's all I care about. So I'm just gonna move. As long as it's fine. So I'm just gonna move my laptop, which is weird that I'm watching my own stream. That way I can see your guys' questions a little bit better, and it's closer to my eyesight. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. But other than that, I won't pay attention to this one. I'll just pay attention to this one, because that's the one that matters. So, uh, what videos am I planning? Um, hmm. Uh, honestly, not sure. I finally got my Mind's Eye review up. I don't know. I usually take the first like week to do brainstorming. So if you've got any video ideas, I mean, outside of doing a like Death Stranding is like the only game I have set for review. I feel like I'm 30 hours in, but it says I've been playing for 22 hours, but I think I'm not sure if I'll beat it. I think I'll get to 30, 40 hours, and whether I beat it or not, I'll be able to give my review because I'm pretty sure I know exactly the score I would give Death Stranding to right now. And it's a really good score. It's a very good score. So I would feel comfortable reviewing it right now, even though I haven't beaten it because I'm doing a lot of extra construction right now. But yeah, I'll be sure to make a post like sending in requests for like brainstorming ideas. So yeah, Your stream's fine on your end. What's up, Way? What's up, Commander? How you doing? I've been doing all right, just trying to stay productive. Any plans for 4th of July? Unfortunately, no, James. Probably just work. Yeah, I work that graveyard shift, so no, I don't have any plans for 4th of July. Since you're done with Nickelodeon tier list, can you make a Cartoon Network? I could do that if you want that. Not a lot of people even commented on the Nickelodeon one, but yeah, I could do that. You've been really active at the gym lately. Yeah, me too, man. As you can tell from the shirt and even that little device back there, which I gotta admit, it's actually been really helpful. Like I primarily work on arms and chest at the gym mainly, and then I do like 3 miles on a treadmill and then run like a 4th mile. But like this thing, like this whole place, it's like really sore right now. So it's actually quite damn. Like it actually is doing some serious work for me. So and I have 2 of those. One that's like for like medium amount of weight, and then I have one that's like a lot heavier. So yeah, that's what you see all here. Like I'm working on chest right now. How's the new job? It's going all right. There's a couple of there's 1 or 2 things going on right now, but so far it's okay. You rewatch Steven Spielberg World of the Worlds and you love it. Okay, that's fine. It's your 2nd favorite movie of all time. Wow. I mean, I remember seeing that movie only really once, and I didn't really. There was like one scene that was like stupid. That was like, I can't take this movie serious anymore. And I saw that and I couldn't take it seriously. I mean, it didn't seem like it was a bad movie. It was just like well, that was kind of goofy. Top 2 favorite shows? I don't think I could do that. That'd be too much of a challenge. Dang, you're throwing a lot of questions. Have I watched Westworld? No, I've never watched Westworld. Do I know the song Paint in Black? No, I don't know that song. The Red Sox hack, is that your team? Well, duh, Master, I'm a Boston person, so I mean, you know. The gym is one of the biggest stress relievers. I agree. Commander Shepard, what would you do if you were in the world of Mind's Eye? I wouldn't. Why do you ask what would I do if I... Okay, listen, I'm telling you, there is not a single video game world I would ever want to go into. The real world is just fine. As fucked up as it is, any other video game world is worse. Is worse. I cannot think every single video game, even places I think are happy, I would rather deal with what I'm dealing in the real world than go out and go into one of those worlds. There's not one single video game. How would you rank Michael Jackson's 6 albums? James, I've already done that. 100%. I know for a fact. I've already done that. And he has more than 6. He's got he's got more than 6. I think he's got like 8. Yeah, it's like Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad, Dangerous, History, Invincible. Then you have Michael, and then Escape. And then there's like a couple of solo ones. So he has 8 albums, and I 100% know I've done a video ranking those. 100%. There's no question. Do you think John Hill's Here Turn has been a failure so far? I would say it was a failure at first, but it's getting better. But I don't think he'll be heel much longer. If I had to make a guess, I would be surprised if he... Here's what I think might happen. I think, personally, like, this is how I think... I think he'll be a face before he finally quits and retires. But my thought idea was that he's going to lose the belt at SummerSlam to Cody, and then, like, immediately Seth is going to cash Money in the Bank on Cody, and then that's going to set up Cody going against Seth again. But here's the thing. With Seth having his 2 bodyguards, Cody is going to have to team up with Punk and Roman, who have an issue with both Seth and Heyman, and it is going to come up to like a major event match. Oh my God. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
What happened?
First, I told Jarvis happy birthday. I hope he's doing well. I finally got a picture of him and your boy, because your mom posted one, so I finally have a good picture of those two, so I'm happy about that. And bro, you have the most impressive timing, because you're videoing me while I'm live streaming, and that seems to always be the case.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll call you back later, man.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, I just found that amazing. Like every time you video chat me, it's always during a stream. So maybe you have like this alternate sense or something.
I just trying to call like, right after I got out of work.
Okay, man. I'll call you back when I'm done.
All right, no problem.
All right, man. Love you, bro. Talk to you later.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye. Yeah. Sorry about that. But I think that's what's gonna happen. So I think it'll come up like by that point Cena will be gone. But I think it'll come to some major event match between Seth and Cody. Which that in itself has a bit of a story too, because there's like a whole journey. But I think that's how it's gonna work. Would I like to have a visit Boston? Oh yes, Master. That's one of my goals. I definitely want to visit Boston one day. Hey, what's up, Super Gaming? How you doing? Have I seen the trailer to Resident Evil Requiem? I've seen it, but I'm not gonna play it. It's not. I don't know. I don't know. I think I've had my fill of Resident Evil. Unless they release a Code Veronica remake, I'm just not interested. Just from what I've seen, I'm not really interested. Have I played Atomic Heart? No, I've never played Atomic Heart. Prank call a restaurant on live? No, I won't do that. I don't do prank calls. Favorite Red Sox player? And that's tough. I'd have to think about that. There's a number of really good ones. Why aren't I playing Resident Evil Requiem? I just don't feel like it. I think I'm at the point where I don't need to play. Like 8 was like a last good hurrah for me personally. I thought it was fine, but like the fact that I own it, yet I've only played it once, and I feel unless I was asked to live stream it, I don't feel the need to play it again. Like, I think it was great, but it wasn't great to the point where I would want to play it again. And I think that says something. Like, there's a number of Resident Evil games I would go back and easily play over and over again. Like 4, 5, and 6, and even some of the Revelation games. But 8, I liked it. They allowed me to play in third person, which is what I asked for. But there's just something about it. It's just like, I don't need to play this again. And if I feel that way after they make the third person change, and even with this next one giving you the option to play in first or third person, and I still don't really want to play it, I think that tells me that I'm probably, my interest in Resident Evil is probably gone at this point. I think I'm probably on the lower slope of going downhill of my interest in Resident Evil. I think it peaked many years ago, and it's been on the decline ever since, and I'm okay with that. Who would you say is the toughest boss in Resident Evil 4? The toughest? Who's the... that's interesting. I mean, I wouldn't say tough, but... Because if you know how to beat them, then no one's tough. But certainly the most interesting boss, I would say, is still it. I would say out of all of them, like what boss, but even if it's easy and I never take any hits and I just take them down easily, like which one really gets me going, I would probably say it. I think that's probably my favorite boss in that game, I would say. So you're done with Resident Evil. I would say right now I am. I'm put it like this, fam. I'm done with future Resident Evil games. I think the only game they could make that would pique my interest is maybe a remake to Code Veronica. And I think once I played Code Veronica, I think that could possibly be the last Resident Evil game I play. Personally. Have I played Deus Ex? Yes. Super Gaming. I have the last two Deus Ex games, but I never played the very first one. My problem with Resident Evil 7 and 8 is that it doesn't really feel like Resident Evil. I'm not sure if I'd agree with that. It feels for someone like me who grew up in the more action age of Resident Evil, that's kind of what I gravitate more towards. Like 4, 5, and 6, and like that generation. And I feel that what Remake 2 and Remake 3 did was kind of give them that atmosphere, that feeling in those settings, and I think it worked. That's why I'm interested in getting Code Veronica, because I think that's the last of the old school Resident Evil games with the tank controls that I feel could work with a faster pace of game style. And I just feel like with the Resident Evil 9, they're doing that, but it's going to be relatively slow. Like, if you played Revelations 2, put it like this. It's like playing Revelations 2 with Myra, but, like, even slower. Like, Revelations, that game was... Revelations 2 was kind of built like Resident Evil 5 in the sense where it was definitely a hardcore co-op game. Like, you really need to play that game with co-op. And I feel like Myra was like the least active character, and I feel like that's what they're doing with this one. But it's going to be horror base. And maybe that's what some fans want, and that's fine. But that's just not the style of Resident Evil game that I gravitate more towards. What do I think about The Rock asking... Oh, forgot. Let Master Mace, the least we talk about that, the better. We already have confirmation that was bullshit. Krauser or the Black Monster is the toughest. The Black Monster? Do you mean the whale? At least I think it's a whale. I'm not sure what that damn thing in the lake was. I'm not sure what that was. It seemed like a whale, like a mutated whale to me. Am I planning on seeing F1 or New Jurassic Park? You know what? Jurassic World, I had no interest in that film. F1 seems like a gimmick film. I mean, it seemed like something I should watch, but it's gimmicky. And perhaps I can just wait for that to come out on a streaming service. Perhaps. I mean, the only film I can think of off the top of my head that is like a definite must-watch is Superman. Like, I'm not going to see Fantastic Four, and I'm not going to see Jurassic World. So, like, I've had my fill of Jurassic films. Are you an Iron Maidens like Regenerators? 10 times creepier. I would say creepier, yes, but hard no. I would say which one is like the most entertaining for me to deal with, but no, I would definitely say the Iron Maiden is probably the creepiest and scariest creature I've ever seen in a Resident Evil game. Resident Evil 7 and 8 feel more like Outlast to me. I'll take your word for it because I've never played that game. Not a whale, I mean Vertiliga. Oh, that. Okay. I wouldn't say he was that. I mean, I guess if you don't know what you're doing, that could be hard. And if you're playing on professional, that could be hard, but you know. Top Gun Maverick, I know he did, but the thing is, I didn't even here's the thing, I haven't even seen Top Gun Maverick all the way through. I've seen maybe 30 minutes of that film, but it's like scattered, and it's through clips. I've never actually watched Top Gun Maverick from beginning to end. I've seen 30 minutes of that film with clips, and I feel like, okay, I've seen enough of this film that I don't have to watch the movie, and that's how I felt. But I mean, yeah, I know he directed it, so. But I'm okay. I just think F1 seems kind of boring. I don't think you can make that interesting to me. I'm just saying, like F1 just seems as boring as NASCAR, where they like I literally cannot understand how people are entertained by NASCAR. I don't get it. I can understand I can be impressed by like street racing, and that seems entertaining, but NASCAR and F1 racing, plus it just seems like F1 racing is for like rich folks. It's not for normal people, so I can't get into that kind of stuff. Who's the greatest hitter at Red Sox? David Ortiz or... Well, Ortiz was on steroids, unfortunately. But, I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable saying Master Mace, but I do appreciate the question. Hi, Jackie Boy. Welcome to the stream. But on the other hand, they can pretty much be easy to dodge by rocket. Dude, buddy, you can kill anything in Resident Evil with one shot with a rocket launcher. You literally can kill anything. I think there's maybe like one enemy I can think of that it requires like 2 rocket launchers to take out. Is there a movie that are bad that bother you that on a personal level that's bad on a personal level? I guess movie 43. I mean, I hate that movie personally. I guess it's the worst movie I've ever seen. So, when you get that bark bark dog, I'm still trying to save up for it. It's proving to be a bit more difficult than usual. What's a game or movie you wish you liked and you unfortunately don't? I can't think of anything that if I don't like it, then I don't like it. It's that simple. Is Mind's Eye down there with the worst video games ever? I wouldn't say it's one of the worst games ever. I wouldn't say that, but I would definitely say it's the worst game that I've played this generation during the PlayStation 5 era. But would I put it up there with like one of the worst games ever? No. I mean, I think after like a year, if they patch it, it'll be okay, but it'll be at minimum like a mediocre, outdated game. I mean, it just came out in a very, very bad condition and it was highly limited. But I could see the potential for a fun game to be there. Who's the greatest? No, I go, Larry Bird. No question. Larry Bird's the greatest Celtic ever. It's not even close. I like Bill Russell, but like, both those guys are before my time, but I can actually go back and kind of study Larry Bird's game at that stage in the NBA, and that's impressive. What is my opinion so far on Death Stranding 2? Okay, do you want like a rating right now or just an opinion? An opinion, it's a far better game than Death Stranding 1 in every possible way. Definitely a Game of the Year contender. Knowing George Keighley, I'll be shocked if that game doesn't win at minimum 4 different awards at VGAs. If I could save up to go to VGAs, I would. I mean this is gonna win a bunch of awards. And there's one moment in this game that I hope that they recreate in like a dance sequence. There's like a dance sequence in this game that is like so fucking entertaining. I'll be shocked if they don't recreate it again, like they did with the Alan Wake dance number. Like they do something like that in this game. I want to see them do that. Like I would pay to go see that live. I don't know if they'll do it, but yeah, overall, without doing a rating, it is a much better game than the first one. Doesn't Toy Story... Vam, I don't know what you're talking about. There is no Toy Story 4. What is this Toy Story 4? There's no Toy Story 4. There's 3 Toy Story films, and that's all they ever made. So I don't know what you're talking about. What would you do if Jesse... What the hell is Jesse Eisenberg doing talking to me? I have no business talking to him. Thoughts on the Diddy verdict? The just system is flawed, I guess. It's a joke question. Is Tears Kaze a worse game? I never played that game. I've never played Tears Kaze. Do you think Mind's Eye will get the Cyberpunk? No, it won't. It can't. No. Mind's Eye will not get a Cyberpunk treatment. Can't. Even if it wasn't as broken, it's too limiting of a game. Would you ever do a video on why you hate Metal Gear Solid? No, I don't want to talk about those games. Could Cloud defeat Auron? Which one are we talking about here? Give me a rating for Death Stranding. Okay, if you want a rating right now, like without a review, I'd give it it's a strong 9. Easily a strong 9. Like if I wasn't so much of a Kojima fanboy, I would have given Death Stranding 1 a 7 at best. But even with this, even without the Kojima fanboyism, even taking that out this time, which I have, it's without question a strong 9. I would even say that if you weren't a fan of the first game, the second game will make you a fan. You could actually probably play the second game and not need to play much of the first game. It is without question a strong 9. I would say it's it's definitely a game of the year contender. I'm not sure if it'll win, but it's definitely a game of the year contender. It's by far, it's better than Doom, and Doom was my most anticipated game of this year, and I think Death Stranding is better. So that says something. And Death Stranding was not like that was not my most anticipated game of this year. That was a game I thought would just kind of come and go, but like I'm finding myself like addicted to playing Death Stranding 2. If I didn't have to go to a employee meeting after this stream, I would easily do a 2-hour stream of playing Death Stranding 2 after this. I can't do one today after this stream, but like I would easily do a 2-hour stream of that. Easy. Hey, what's up, Winter Gus? How you doing? Have I played Yakuza? No, I have not. What are some of the stupidest storylines in wrestling I've ever heard? Well, have you heard of the Katie Vick storyline with Kane? That was pretty bad, and that was before I even started wrestling. And the whole Kurt Angle wanting to rape Booker T's wife. That was inappropriate even for that time. I can't believe you gave Alan Wake 2 a 7. I gave it a 10. That's fine. That's fine. I just didn't like it as much as the first game. I just found it really too hard to understand. I didn't get it. I'm glad you liked it. So it doesn't bother you on a personal level. We just don't talk about it, man. We just don't. Who is the greatest Laker of all time? Well, I hate the Lakers, so I don't give a shit. I don't like any Laker. I don't like any. I don't like any of them. They can go. They can all kick rocks. If it's 7 Cloud, Orin wins. If it's AC Cloud loses. Yeah, that's what I would say. Would you be down for a Metal Gear reboot? I'm surprised they didn't. I don't know why they're starting off with 3. I expect if they're gonna reboot it from like the beginning. When you make the first 2 Metal Gear games, that would have made more sense. I would have played those 2. But I will say this: Death Stranding is so good, and has so much Kojima-ism in them. I don't even like. I had like maybe a tiny interest in maybe giving Metal Gear Delta a chance. Now I don't have to, because all that Kojima stuff has been ripped out of Delta, and there's so much Kojima-ism in there. It's like this is like 25% of why I love those Metal Gear games, and the fact that all that's ripped out means that these are games that are probably going to be at most rather boring. Like I think of all the Metal Gear games, if you take all that Kojima-ism out of them, those are mid-tier games at best. Like, not one of them probably would get more than an 8. Not one of them. Like, I take even Metal Gears 3 and 4, take out the Kojima-isms, I would say 4 is like a 7, 3 is like an 8. If you ripped all that Kojima-ism out. But there's so much that is absolutely wonderful and amazing in Death Stranding 2. Any possible interest I had in Delta is completely evaporated. I'm not even gonna even entertain the idea of playing Delta anymore. That's how good Death Stranding 2 is. It's a better Metal Gear game than some of the Metal Gears. Like, that's how good it is. It actually does a lot of things that are Metal Gear-ish better than a lot of the Metal Gear games. Like, even though he isn't part of Metal Gear, you can see its influence. He has made a better Metal Gear game than what Konami has done these last number of years. Like, that's how much I love Death Stranding 2. I don't know if Death Stranding 2 is going to be my game of the year, but it's probably the front runner right now. I have to. There's maybe 1 or 2 games coming out that I need to play first before I decide. Am I buying a copy of Death Stranding 2? I already have it. It's here. It's right here. I already have a copy. It's right here. Is Babe Ruth overrated? Babe Ruth was dead long before I was born, so I can't say. What do I mean by Kojima-ism? Okay, there's certain things that Kojima does with his gameplay. Like, there's a lot of weirdness to it that if any other game publisher tried to do this, it wouldn't work. But in his, like, kind of mind, it seems weird to most people, but in the fabric of the world he's created within his games, it seems to fit. Like, there's a lot of weird things, but they work. If anyone else tried to pull this off, it would seem weird. But because Kojima is such a genius, he somehow, in his weirdness, makes it work in the context of the worlds he creates. That's what I mean. Like, even in Metal Gear, there was a lot of weird stuff, but because it was in a world he had created, it made sense. If you had tried this in any other game, it would stand out and be like a complete waste of time. If you ripped out the Kojima, yeah, what would it be? No, it would not. It would not. If you ripped out all the Kojima-ism, which they've done in Delta, and they've confirmed that, it would not be a number. It would not be. It would be at most maybe a low 8. Maybe even a 7.5. It wouldn't even be. It would be a game I would play once and never play again. I mean, no. The remake is completely different. If you're talking about Delta, it is a completely different game. Like, a lot of people think it's the same story, but there's a lot of elements that have been completely ripped out, and they have confirmed that. They have confirmed that 100%. So I already know it's an inferior game to the original. Like, this was, guys, I was told all of this by the voice actors in person last year. They confirmed everything I'm telling you. None of that is in the game anymore. Like I understand people are excited for it, and that's perfectly fine, but I'm telling you, it is a completely different game from the original. There is so much that they ripped out and replaced. It's ostensibly what they're doing with, like, the new Harry Potter series. It's like, they're ripping so much out, it's not even funny. You might as well, that's why it's not 3, it's Delta. It's its own thing. I mean, a reboot as a new complete story. Yeah, honestly, I would prefer if they did that. I would prefer if Konami made a completely new Metal Gear series and it had nothing to do with none of the characters. The only thing they need to keep is a Metal Gear. That's about it. Is Death Stranding 2 a lot of gameplay? It has a lot of gameplay. Yes, it does. Greatest picture: Pedro Martinez or Roger? Oof. I don't know. That's tough. I might go with Pedro Martinez. I would go. Yeah, probably. You're talking about a complete Metal Gear reboot? Yeah, I mean, if they did that, I mean, if they want to do that, that's what that's what I was expecting. If they were to do a Metal Gear 6, they should just do a completely new continuity. Yeah, then don't call it Metal Gear Solid. Call it Metal Gear something. Metal Gear Black, Metal Gear Rebirth, Metal Gear Reborn. Have it just be a completely separate story that has none of the characters. Don't use Snake, don't use any of the Snakes. Just make up your own continuity, and you can do whatever you want. And I would give that a chance. But, like, when you take characters that belong to Kojima, and he is somehow able to do them better, or do better versions of characters that you now own, you've got a problem. Like, there are characters in Death Stranding that you can clearly tell are inspired by characters from Metal Gear, and somehow he has done a better job with them. They are better in Death Stranding than they are in Metal Gear. And yet we know they're going to screw up these characters moving forward. I already know that. Hey, Metal Gear Ultimatum. Heck, that's a solid name. Fine, call it that. Fine. Games similar to Death Stranding 2? Nothing. There's nothing that's like it. I have an electric bike. Congratulations. You own 7 copies of Grand Theft Auto 5. Okay. That's not really weird. I own 6 copies of Metal Gear Solid 3. So, yeah. Instead of Snake, they should just have him Viper or Python. The thing is that there actually is a Python in the Metal Gear Solid lore. There is a character who goes by the code name Python. So, yeah, but heck, Viper, that's a solid name. What's the dumbest thing in Devil May Cry reboot? Garbage. The whole game was garbage. What do you think of the picture I showed you on Instagram? I think it was okay. I remember correctly. Who do you think are the most overrated players? Yours is LeBron James, Larry Bird, John Stockton. I don't know. Overrated? I don't know. Maybe KD, I guess. Do top 5 favorite video game endings. I think I might have done something like that, I feel like, years ago. I don't think that list would have changed. Yeah. I own 3 copies of Resident Evil 4 and 5 copies of Chrono Trigger. Jesus Christ, Chrono Trigger? Wow. How the heck do you have 5 copies of Chrono Trigger? That's a Super NES game. How the heck do you get 5 copies of that? That's rare. You should play Batman in the new DCU. No, I'm good. Nope. You reckon they'll announce Astrobot before the end of the year? I think they will. I would be surprised if we don't get an Astrobot 2. I'm pretty confident they will. Whether or not it'll come out for this generation is another question. But I'm positive we'll get an Astrobot 2. As a game, not as a story. I like DMC as a game, not as a story. Okay, well, that's you, Vamp. I just hate everything about that game. You own 2 copies of Borderlands 2 and 3? Okay. You got them retro stores online. Yeah, we got a few of those here in town. What? I don't know if Gordon. I don't know if Dragon Ball GT was financially successful. I mean, we're still talking about it years later, so I guess it was culturally successful in a sense. I guess. Have you heard of Decodes? No, Commander Shepard. I've never heard of that. Imagine we get another free Astrobot game. I think that they could do that. I think we could do that. We could have like a tech demo to show off the new technology for the PlayStation 6, and then they'll release like Astrobot 2. I can see them doing that. Was the story for Tenkaichi bad? I didn't even finish that fucking game. I didn't finish it. I couldn't get past the first hour. Those Tenkaichi games are garbage compared to Budokai. Budokai is real Dragon Ball. Tenkaichi and that style of gameplay is completely fucking broken. Probably on par with the old school Resident Evil tank controls. It's just like, I cannot believe there are millions of people that enjoy this shit. I don't get it. This gameplay does not work. Even if you could say it's somewhat more realistic to how it's done in the show, it's like, just because I do it in the show doesn't mean I want to do it in a game. Tenkaichi 3 is the best. Well, I'm glad you think so, but Budokai shits all over that game. What holds Budokai 3 from being a 10 out of 10? I don't know. It's just simplistic. It's the best Dragon Ball Z game I've ever played, but that's not a bad thing. It isn't. Not everything needs to be a 10 out of 10. It is not. I still remember when you showed Metal Gear 4 on the PlayStation Vita before it was released, and you thought it was going to be released on the Vita, but it never did. Better than Budokai? It is not. There is no Dragon Ball Z game that is better than Budokai 3. As a fighting game, I mean, I would say Kakarot's actually a good number 2. And there's still like 2 DLC packs from that I haven't even gotten yet. I mean, you can enjoy your Tenkaichi, but Budokai's a great game. I have over 20 games in my 10 out of 10, so that's good. Favorite Celtics championship team? Probably the 08 team. Even though I do think they are a bit overrated. I agree. But they did beat Kobe. And that makes me happy. Just seeing him lose his first time without Shaq is a moment I'll never forget. And I graduated high school that year, so that makes that championship extra special. I don't know. There's a bunch of open world Dragon Ball games. I think Kakarot's semi-open world. You picked up Death Stranding recently, only because it was one DMC game. I didn't know. Devil May Cry. Oh, Devil May Cry. Okay. Have you watched Black Hawk Down? I've seen Black Hawk several times. I would say it's easily in my top 5 favorite war movies of all time, easily. Definitely one of Ridley Scott's best movies he's ever done. Hi everyone, Dr. Hino, welcome. Kakarot was not mid. Kakarot was really fun. If you make a game that I platinum not on one console but 2 different consoles, dude, I bought a copy of Dragon Ball Z on PlayStation 4, and loved it so much and platinumed it so fast, I bought a copy on PlayStation 5 just to replay and platinum it again. That, my friend, is a real Dragon Ball Z game. Well, I mean, what was your favorite Transformer game? Ooh, that's tough. Well, it's definitely going to be one of the Cybertron games. I think Fall of Cybertron is slightly better than War of Cybertron. It's a shame we never got a third one of those. Favorite Red Sox championship team? Well, I mean, even though I wasn't watching baseball at the time, I mean, just looking back, definitely the 04 team. For obvious reasons. I mean, they just had a documentary released, a 3-part documentary released about them on Netflix. So I think they could probably go to. Hang on, let me ask. I'm curious. What's the best Boston Red Sox team? Okay, that's an interesting argument. Some say the 2008 team. I was like, okay, I can understand that. Budokai 3 is great, but Tenkaichi is better. Better my ass. Why are you like linear games? I don't like linear games. What are you talking about? What was your reaction to Akira Toriyama's death? I was hurt, dude. I did a whole video about that. I love Metal Gear Solid 5's open world game, but the story is not good. The story is garbage. Does Frieza become a good guy? Not really. Frieza's never a good guy. The funny thing about Frieza, for the longest time, I always thought Frieza was a woman. I was like, I don't know, Frieza had like a very feminine voice, but I was like, no, that's a guy. I was like, wow, I thought Frieza sounds like a woman, like a female's name. Imagine if Goku's greatest rival was a female. That would be something. You don't see that a lot in anime, where like usually a person's rival is like the same gender. It's very uncommon that you see rivals that are opposing sexes. You don't see that a lot. Did you know that Transformers React is going to be released someday this year and canceled? They only got a teaser for it. No, I didn't know that. Have I played Dead by Daylight? No, I've never played that game. Burst Limit, Xenoverse 1 and 2, and Fighter Z were great too. Well, I'll agree with you on Fighter Z, but those other ones, I wouldn't even entertain playing those. Calling Frieza a good guy is like calling Joker a good guy. Budokai 3 story mode is more replayable than Tenkaichi. You're damn right, Rashad. You're damn right. Frieza sucks as a villain. Frieza does not suck as a villain. Frieza is probably the most iconic villain in Dragon Ball Z history, with Cell being maybe a good number 2. Even I'll agree to that. I mean, Frieza's not my favorite villain, but I do acknowledge that he's probably the most popular villain, even after all these years. You like Call of Duty. I like a lot of Call of Duty games, but I've retired from that franchise. So I heard that One Piece manga probably won't end until 2035 and probably for the anime until 2037. Okay. Burst Limit is like Budokai. My ass. Budokai 2 is underrated. I mean, to be fair, I do think it is the worst of the Budokai trilogy, but I still think it's okay. It is funny how when they did the remaster, they skipped 2. They added 1 and 3. And no one talks about Budokai 2. Very interesting. Objectively. My second favorite Dragon Ball character is Vegeta. Okay, well, Vegeta's my first, and he's sitting right there. Right behind the Blue Eye skateboard. Budokai 2 is miles better than Budokai 1. As you might say, objectively, maybe. Maybe. Would you play Need for Speed Most Wanted? You fucking right I would play that. Are you kidding? The fact that we haven't had a remastered upsets me. I mean, the only console I can play it on now is my PlayStation 2 and my PlayStation 3. And I still want it, to look really good. I've seen what a modern, I don't know if I can even show you this. I mean, Yeah, I don't know. I hope I don't get copyright. I'll show you this. Like, I don't know if you'll be able to see this very well, but I was on Instagram, and I like it'll probably be impossible for you to see this, like clearly, like how sharp this looks. But I saw this and I'd be like, oh my god, if they ever made Need for Speed Most Wanted look like this, yeah, like if they ever made it look like that, oh my god, I would easily pay $80 to play it again. Like that is a Need for Speed game. Like that's how you make a racing game. Like oh my god, I would love to replay that remastered, but I mean, all I got is my original copies. All Dragon Ball villains suck. No, they don't. They don't all suck. They're in different tiers. There's some that suck, but there's some that are really good. You can't say Cell sucks. Cell's a great villain. They literally the same villain with no motivation. There is absolutely motivation. Budokai 1 just has better cutscenes. What do I like about Vegeta? I like that Vegeta out of any character has the most growth of any character. It's not even close. Goku, like, this is not even a debate. Goku is the same character by the end of Super and even the manga than he was in the very first episode of Dragon Ball. Not so much Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball. That character has not changed at all. Vegeta has made a complete 180 as a character. Now, people like Piccolo and Gohan, they have naturally developed in a good way. But no one would have expected Vegeta to make the turn that he did. Nobody. No one has made a complete 180 like he has. Like, some might say Piccolo, but, like, that's different. Because there's, like, King Piccolo, and then there's, like, Piccolo's son, which he is. So they're kind of like two different people. Majin Buu is underrated. Yeah, like, well, here's the thing about Buu. Buu's not a good guy, so if you're talking like Super Buu or Kid Buu, then yeah, I'd agree with it. Because Majin Buu is like a definitive good guy now, I'm not sure you can call him a villain. Who's your favorite antagonist and your favorite protagonist in all gaming history? Oof. Well, I don't know about. I don't know. I'd have to really think about that one. But that's a good question, Shirley. I'd have to really think about that. Majin Buu is an underrated villain, and Buu is an absolute monster. Here's the thing: Majin Buu could be, but he's not a villain anymore, and that's why I don't think I can put him in as an underrated villain because he's not a villain anymore. Now, if it was someone like Frieza who is still a villain and Cell who's still a villain, Buu actually made a change to a good guy. So I don't think it's fair to call him a villain. Now, if you're talking about the alternate versions of Buu, like Kid Buu and Super Buu, where those two are definitively evil, then that's how you could compare them. Because we do have moments where Majin Buu has fought Kid Buu, or Majin Buu has fought Super Buu. That's something. Or technically, he was like Prickly Buu to be fair. Vegeta is a spoiled brat who is untitled to everything, yet he is almost ruined in the world in the Cell Saga. No, I wouldn't say he's ruined. Why do people say that Kid Buu is stronger than Buhan? He's not. I'd say Kid Buu's the most dangerous version because he's all about killing, but if the strongest version is definitely Super Buu once he absorbs Gohan. Who says there isn't? Because when he absorbs people, like he's a lot stronger. Like when he absorbed Gotenks, Gohan was screwed. So like to be fair, you could say that technically Buu absorbing Gotenks is technically stronger because he was kicking Gohan's ass. Wait. No, I take that back. No, he wasn't. My memory's all messed up. Yeah, you're right. I do think when he goes to Gohan, he was stronger. Because I think he was even able to kind of beat up Goku in Super Saiyan 3, if I remember correctly. Kid Buu is the only Dragon Ball villain that successfully destroyed the planet. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true. What do I think of Dragon Ball Daima? It's okay. I just don't know how to feel about it. I mean, it's okay. It's just like, I think it's an alternate timeline again. It's like you have Z, and you have 3 separate timelines now. Because that's how I view it now. It's like Daima is one timeline, Super is another timeline, GT is another timeline. So it's kind of funny how Dragon Ball Z is still the best, yet it splits off into 3 different timelines. I think Daima cannot take place before GT or Super. Like, it's clear it can't be. So it's literally another timeline, and that's fine. It's like we can't find a true definitive sequel to Z. It's like we'll never figure we will never find an answer to that. Like, no matter what we do or what we try, we will never find a definitive sequel to Dragon Ball Z. And we got about 8 minutes left. Is Leon S. Kennedy more popular than Chris and Jill? I don't know if he's more popular, but he's my favorite. I mean, it's pretty. I would say it's probably Leon or Chris, but it'd be pretty close. I believe they confirmed no. Okay, well, we all know why that's bullshit. It's like, I don't know if they confirmed it, but definitively we know that it can't be. It's like, we know it can't be a prequel to. we know this. It's like the fact that so you're telling me that Goku can go to Super Saiyan 4 and Vegeta can go Super Saiyan 3, yet they never do it before Beerus, and they haven't explained that? I don't think it can. It can't be a prequel to Super. You'd just be better off saying it's an alternate timeline. That's fine. Honestly, Vamp, just Z has multiple different split timelines after it ends. That's how I feel it. It can have any number of timelines. They'll make like another series, and that'll be another sequel to Z. And then Z will have 4 different timelines that split. That's fine. Hey, that's fine. GT had it wasn't perfect, but it had its bright moments. There's definitely a lot of cool things I like about Dragon Ball GT. I won't shit on it like a lot of people do. And heck, GT's been getting a lot of love recently, so. Yes, fam. That I will agree with you. I think the only 2 that are definitive is Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. They are perfectly linked, and yeah, I agree. The fights in GT are terrible. They're not terrible. They're not terrible. You think one day they'll do Dragon Ball Z remake? No. Why? Why would you do that? They've already done that. Technically, they've already remade those. Technically. People are now loving GT because they're hating on Super now. Really? People hated Super? I didn't know people hated Super. I thought Super was fine. I thought Super was special because it was like the one time. Because the thing about Dragon Ball is that most of us that are watching it in the States, I mean, you don't think about it now, but like by the time we saw it, it was new for us. But it had been in Japan for like 10, 15 years. So like we didn't know what a Super Saiyan was, but like over in Japan, that's old. So like I think Super is special in the sense that it's the first Dragon Ball series that the whole world got to experience it for the first time. Like, and I think that's what makes Super special. Like, and yeah, like I'll never forget like seeing this online. Like I saw that they had this large crowd that was watching like the final episode and the end of Tournament of Power. They were watching, like, there's a video of it, like in Mexico, and to see like all those thousands of people to gather together, that was a special moment, and we were all watching it around the world at the same time. That was special. So that's why I really didn't think anyone hated Super. I thought it was fine. I enjoyed Super a lot. I would say behind Dragon Ball Z, it's probably the second best in my opinion. I would put Super over GT, and I would put Super over Dharma, and I would put Super over Dragon Ball. I would say it's number 2 on my list. I liked it a lot. People hated Super because it was less violent, and how the first 2 arcs are just remakes of the Battle of Gods. Really, I hadn't heard that. Yeah, they ruined a lot of things that made Dragon Ball Z's great. Really? I hate how much they... In, well, Goku's always been an idiot. What are you talking about? Goku's always been kind of stupid. Like, dude, his strength is not in his intelligence. Where have you been the last 30 years? Goku is not a smart character. Like, tactically, tactically, Vegeta is a better tactician than Goku. And here's the thing. Here's something a lot of people won't admit. Goku's never actually beaten Vegeta, and Vegeta's beaten him 30 times. People don't talk about that. Like, Goku's the main character, yet he's never beaten Vegeta. And people like to throw arguments like, well, you know, he could've, but no, he didn't. Vegeta has beaten Goku 3 times. He has beaten Goku more times than anybody. 3 times. And yet, he's viewed as the second tier. The second one. That's why I like Vegeta. I'm not a big fan of the people who are the leads, because it's typically their rival who end up being technically better people. Goku has been a massive idiot. There are so many times where Goku could have done something to make the situation easier, and he didn't. I like Super, but they did Tien dirty. Dude, Tien's been dirty. Tien has never been relevant since Dragon Ball. Like, you think about, like, a lot of those Dragon Ball characters, like Yamcha and Tien and Chaozu, like, and all those characters, the most useful thing they ever did was die. Like, in the entire run of Dragon Ball Z, Tien's highest moment was using his burst attack against Cell. Like, that was the highest he ever got. Like, that was his one moment. Even Yamcha. Yamcha's best moment in Dragon Ball Z is getting blown up. I'm sorry. Like, these characters are completely almost irrelevant in Z. Like, and even Krillin. Like, the most useful thing Krillin ever did in Z was die. Like, if he doesn't die, we don't get Super Saiyan. I mean, they kind of did him a little bit justice in Super, so I was happy about that. That was weird, though. Like, Krillin is technically the most powerful human on Earth. Although, I will say, I did find it a little bit BS that he was able to get into a beam struggle with Super Saiyan God Goku. That was a weird scene. I was like, is Krillin really pushing back Goku's Kamehameha of his own? I'm like, okay. that was a moment. I'm not a... Oh, Vamp, did I hurt your feelings? Dude, I just mentioned that! When Tien done, I literally just fucking mentioned that. Yeah, like Goku's not an awful character, but he's made some dumb decisions. Like here's a dumb decision. You didn't hurt my feelings. I'm just speaking facts. I feel like I hurt your feelings. Alright. Well, I gotta cut it off there. So this stream was It's quite interesting. Got a little bit heated, but you know it happens. All right, but thanks guys for stopping by, and I'll be sure to catch you. Really? Okay, well, Vamp, I'll take that one as a personal insult, but I'll hope you cool down next week. So, adios, everybody.